Hello, Zelda Speedruns. Welcome to another Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup race. This is Treesapthief versus NYRambler in the brackets round 1. On commentary today, we have Secretly a Sliver and Toffile, and they'll take it from here.
Yep. How are you doing, Sliver? I guess. Uh,
I'm doing all right. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Our mode tonight's Big Boss, which means we're gonna have full boss shuffle. Um, kind of the standard boss shuffle. Only 3 repeats are gonna be around, and other than that, we have maps and compasses shuffled, so a little more value to big dungeons, I guess.
And the maps and compasses actually have functionality here. The maps telling you what the dungeon prizes are for their specific dungeons, and the compass telling you which boss you're going to run into at the end of that dungeon. So you'll see them going out of their way to pick up some maps and compasses more often than you normally would, and we get some immediate divergence, which is always nice.
Yeah. Of course, we all know we're just gonna end up face checking a Trinix at some point, just because we don't have the compass. But
Oh, of course.
Rambler realizing that we have map shuffle on, so you can't check your dungeon prizes. Going into the light world. But unfortunately, the only thing that we had in the back in sync was the sewer small key, which is probably about the worst thing that we could get. It does mean that everything else in Hyrule Castle is an item, though, because there is no map in there right now.
Well, there could be, but it's a lot rarer.
Yeah.
Got some rich crabs out here today.
Yeah, take a couple of bonks with... Ooh. That is nice.
I'm not sure that guard kill is going to count. I think you need the skull on the screen.
Yeah. Anyway, that was our hook shot sitting in the Uncle chest. So that actually is pretty nice for boss shuffle because it means that we automatically just don't have to care about Argus showing up anymore. He being one of the more annoying bosses to find without the items you need.
Right, I'm thinking more in terms of logical implications at the moment. That when you get hookshot that early, I'm always thinking East Death Mountain is in play.
Yeah. So both runners are looking like they're going to take a very similar kind of route of the CAC, coming in from the north through the Lost Woods, and I'm kind of surprised that they're checking Lumberjack, but you know, if you want to do it early, now's a good time.
Treesapthief getting his feet a little wet there by walking down the stairs.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Those, if you're a couple pixels too much, then the stairs automatically kick in and drag you down there. Oh, and the bush crab, the non-rupee prize was a bomb. That's a really nice bush crab. And of course, we just get 300 rupees in blind side, so it doesn't even really matter all that much.
Oh, Blind's a pretty successful thief in this timeline.
Yeah. But we also got our first sword too, which is...
Sword is nice to find, and especially with finding that small key in the Sank chest, I wonder if we're going to see them look at front of escape here.
Yeah, I kind of expect probably a South Shore trip first. Maybe to get like a lamp or something. Not necessarily like the lamp, but you could still get like lamp or glove or something like that, just to like make it easier. So you don't have to worry about like key. You know, you still have to deal with keypad to get to the last couple items. But Rambler still trying to remember that this is map shuffle, I think. But our glove on the bottle vendor, at least. Turns out all this cash was good for a reason.
Yeah, and Rambler sitting pretty there, only 35 rupees from Zora money.
Yeah. Meanwhile, treesapthief's already at 650. And he hasn't paid off the bottle vendor, so he's already got Zora money and is halfway to pod money. Just saw a piece in the library.
And that's our boots there on that ledge, so
You want those?
always nice to find those in an early sphere.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I guess, you know, this usually in a Key Sanity seed, like I'm more used to runners kind of like blind checking race game. Because you just have the extra items in the pool that you might want to pick up.
I found myself just blind checking race game more and more, just because it's usually early in the seed, and even if it is only like a little bit of money or something like that, it's still somewhat useful at the beginning of the seed like that.
Yeah, now we're gonna get to see a little. Okay, Rambler is probably gonna go do Bark Rocks and then check Escape.
The seed's only unpossible if it's not Homer Simpson rupee. Then anything is possible.
And good, we already have our first mail upgrade without a mirror. Good thing we only have 4 hearts.
And just dropping into the back of Escape the short way.
Yeah. Actually, it'll be kind of interesting. We may see a little bit of divergence up here because treesapthief might opt to go up the mountain and take that hookshot to go do what you were thinking about and checking East Death Mountain and getting over to Paradox Cave and Spiral. But on the other hand, you might want to hold off until you get a mirror or hammer, just so you could.
Looks like we're just going South Shore here.
Yeah.
Rambler will try and find his key rat back here, and finally does.
Yeah, the only problem with this is that this is kind of putting that front of castle in like worse territory for Rambler to check. But it's still not too bad. You got a first compass of the seed, which is for Eastern Palace. So we'll get to know exactly who's replacing Armless Knights today. Good. Rambler's going to do castle anyway.
Yeah, that's one of the good things about the Sank start is that it does leave that Uncle and Secret Passage check to kind of force you up there a little bit harder.
Yeah, that was kind of unfortunate on treesapthief's part. I don't know if you saw that, but the full magic despawned about a couple frames just before he reached it. But we did find their lamp over in Mini Moldorm Cave.
If the Moldorms are in the magic pack, you can just kill Octoroks.
Yeah.
Get your magic that way.
Well, so here we're going to see a little more divergence. We have boots, so treesapthief's probably going to go to Ice Red Cave and water walk over to Sora. And probably check the Waterfall Ferry. We'll see exactly what we got sitting down in the back of escape, the rescue sequence here, because this all is in logic now with that small key.
Blue cane in the first chest is interesting.
Yeah.
Ooh, grabbed at the fate.
Ooh. Well, you should be good now, at least. Yeah, there we go. Just the heart piece on the island.
Yeah, so treesapthief rightly taking the portal up to Water Fairy first.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that hobo is just going to get left under the bridge.
I'd have to imagine
Or if he's going to go back for it.
Yeah, you can't do... If you're doing water walk like this, you should be going up to Zora. And if you're doing Zora, you're not going back to Hobo. Just a heart container on the ledge. So he's not going to really miss anything other than what's on Hobo. Hobo won't be in logic until he gets flippers anyway.
Rambler taking care of that ball chain guard, all for a $5 tip.
Yeah. Now, all that we really got from Hyrule Castle is just Verna, which logically isn't going to really do much as us any good until we have a Moon Pearl and a hammer, and we could do Spike Cave. But yeah, it'll be nice maybe if like we find Narmos or Lamlolas early, and we don't have a better way to kill them. Yeah.
Okay, runners are just gonna be in each other's tracks here.
Yeah. Well, I think once treesapthief is checking Darkross, I think they're going to hit the mountain because they've got the lamp, they've got the glove, and the hook shot. And that's a bunch of items, and it's better than checking like a Gina. Or running over to Eastern Palace without a bow.
Yeah, both runners deciding that that Agina is not worth it this seed.
To kind of recap the first 10 or so minutes of this race, someone in chat is asking, there really hasn't been anything truly groundbreaking yet, other than we have some early East Death Mountain access. We don't have anything really kind of suggesting yet. Nobody's gone into any dungeons, so we don't really know what our bosses look like yet. Yeah. And Rambler's mostly following in treesapthie's footsteps at this point. Is going to go check Hobo instead, though. This is actually interesting. No, he just
realized that he
just
does not
realized
have the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to trade 3 checks for 1. Just a compass on Spectacle Rock. This is a question on how comfortable do you feel with that bomb jump? Because that could be useful, but that's a lot of time just to get some boss information.
Yeah, even just without the bomb jump, even just running, getting it, and doing a save and quit to old man, that's a lot of time for just a compass.
Yeah, maybe maybe if we find the hammer up here, you can consider dropping down after checking Hera, but I don't know.
Let's see, this is a map compass boss shuffle, also known as McBoss.
Yep. Realistically, though, we're pretty much done with the mountain now. Other than Spiral Cave. So it'll be we should be seeing something soon. Otherwise, we're going to have to start looking at Eastern Palace.
And a bunch of money in here. There's our Moon Pearl.
Yeah.
So this was required, but we still need another piece to get to the Dark World.
Yeah. Cat, being the absolute sadist that they are, wants us to find mitts or a sword up here.
Cat always wants Echo 1.
Yes. Sorry, I should say other restreamers on ZSR. Look. See, the good thing tonight is I've already noticed we've already managed to find the Swamp Palace compass, so we should know how many items are checked in Swamp Palace when we go there the first time through. Which I'm directing it to Rivian for reasons not related to anything he performed or did, but reasons. Rambler going for the compass. And ooh, TR.
TR compass.
That's not a bad one to have, to be honest.
Yeah, that's real interesting, because if you go into TR and you're not fully equipped, like you're missing an ice rod or something, you're taking a huge risk that you can't kill that boss at the end.
Yeah, and our we have Green Pendant Pod tonight, because of course we have Green Pendant Pod. So somebody's asking what are the settings for Challenge Cup. The settings for Challenge Cup are identical to the settings for our main tournament this year. We have 5 modes. Each player has a deck of cards that's randomly drawn from. The mode chosen tonight was McBoss. So if you're familiar with how main tournament works, you're going to see the same sort of nonsense. Right now, the only major kind of difference between the runners is that Rambler has done the front of escape, has done basically the rescue sequence, and treesapthief has managed to avoid doing that so far. So there are 5 separate modes for this tournament. Tournament Hard, which is a modified hard item pool. Big Boss, which is the mode tonight. Standard Boots, which is like casual boots, except you don't get a sword to start off with, but it's a standard open with starting boots. Ambrosia, which is inverted with sprinkling of ambrosia. And Tournament Fat Keys, which is a modified all dungeons key, full all dungeons key sanity.
Alright, the Aga Dream is somewhat dead. With that hammer in Eastern Palace.
Yes. Yeah. Now, the actual interesting thing that with McBoss is for Eastern Palace. No, treesapthief. You need to keep going. You don't have a way of killing whoever the boss is, but it looked like it was a Helmosaur.
Was indeed, but you still need the bow to defeat the red Igors in the beginning. Or at the end.
Yeah, so What I was hoping that they weren't going to do is, because this is McBoss, so we have shuffled out the map in the compass of Eastern Palace. So everything other than the big key is an item in here. So there's a lot more value in going through here. Let's see what our friendly lazy kid has for us today. Wow, the money to go buy a bottle to go get him his medicine. McBoss means that we have a full boss shuffle on. There are, like in the vanilla game, 3 duplicates, but we have a full boss. But there is a full boss shuffle.
Yeah, Samaria showing up in the Eastern Palace basement. Not gonna mean a whole lot right now, but I'll be thankful to have it in about an hour.
Yeah.
And we did get a quick map check. Desert is a blue crystal. And that's all we know for the light world, and I'm guessing we're going to get one as soon as we get in the dark world as well.
Yeah, I think we have, like, maps for Swamp Skull and, I think, Thieves? So, we should have a lot of information here, especially a treesapthief opts to kind of go south to dark, yeah, south to check the bomb shop after we're done. Ooh, we have a bit more than that. Our red crystals are ice and skull. These is a crystal. Swamp is a pendant.
And we are able to full clear Thieves Town here, depending on what the boss is, of course.
Yeah, I expect that. I kind of expect we'll see the usual play here, and maybe just run and face check the boss because you don't have to rescue blind in this with boss shuffle on. So there's no having to go through the back. Oh, good. There's our pod map. Yeah. The Rambler is using a personal game mix MSU, so it's a medley of different games. So there isn't one particular setting, series, or game that you're expecting.
If you recognize something, feel free to call it out.
Yes. If we switch to treesapthief audio at some point, they're using East 3 and 4. Ah, there's our Eastern Palace map. We do have the season compass. That was either a Trinix or a cold stare, I think.
I only saw it very
I saw
it looked like a cold stare to me.
I saw a very circular blue thing, which I'm assuming is probably cold stare. Yeah.
Stalfoses can be very difficult to hit when they want to be.
Yeah, and we're going to see a little divergence here. Rambler's opting to start on the south side of Dark World.
Alright, we'll see how hyped this cave really is.
Well, the game's already... that's an item that exists.
Yep, the single arrow of destiny.
Compass doesn't actually do us any good because the only boss it shows in Ganon's Tower is Aghanim.
And I'm not even sure that deserves a 0 out of 10. I think that goes into the negatives.
I mean, we got 21 arrows. That's like an entire Hermos kill. But yeah, Rambler obviously hoping to get a bit more reinforcement before heading for Village of Outcasts. This is not proven to be very fruitful, unfortunately.
And we're digging some holes here.
And we just get a map. Well, honestly, we'll have a pretty good idea exactly what our full layout is very soon. We're only missing 2 dungeon maps at this point.
Oh, treesapthief taking a dive.
No, that was intentional. He's death warping out of Thieves Town and
south. I did not see the big chest check then.
Yep. Porch, I think it was just like a piece of heart. So Treesap, it looks like he's opting to check Bumper Cave and then maybe go on to the Skull Woods. And Rambler gonna go check the front of Skull Woods before even going down to the Village of Outcasts. Has anybody headed up the mountain? Yes, both runners have gone up the mountain. That was where the moon pearl was. But we've only done delay roll checks, and neither runner could have made it over to Tower of Hero because they found the hammer after the fact. So we still kind of have Tower of Hero and Spike Cave left up there, but we can't do anything else up there until we get mitts. Rambler is growing his stick collection. That's our first, I believe, our first small key that we've seen in Skullwoods. Hookshot Cave is on Dark Death Mountain. It is locked by the myths, so nobody has seen it. That is all 3 of our Skullwood small keys.
Well, that means there's an item on the moth.
There's always an item on the... Unfortunately, unfortunately with McBoss, there's always an item locked behind Mothula because we can't have a map and compass in there. And we can't have a key on Mothula either, because Mothula needs all 3 keys to be reached.
You can have a map or a compass on the boss, but
I mean, we could have the big key.
You kind of have to treat potential map and compass locations the same as you do any item location.
Unfortunately, right now, we're like... This he's pushing us hard in hard places because... we can't kill Trinex. So right now, like, our next options are kind of... Pod or Catfish or Pyramid Ledge.
Where you take the feels bad trip back up the mountain
Yeah.
and try for Hera.
Yeah, and unfortunately it's Bolus Pod, which... Like, I think both runners are going to try to... Unfortunately, like, Bolus Pod is a fairly strong option at this point. Yeah. treesapthief going through their cave of value. Yeah.
And gonna continue on at least to Pyramid Ledge, and wonder if we go to Pod or Catfish after this.
Yeah, there isn't a good feeling for either one right now. I guess you won't feel probably a little bit better about Pod because you have the potential for more checks. But I guess you just, at the very worst, we should still have that red potion. So we just can't run lock through Pod and say screw the bow for a little while. Now, I don't think we saw treesapthief do a map check of the Boston Skull Blitz, did they?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Because Rambler just made me remember we had the compost to do so, but well, it turns out Pod wasn't overlooked anyway. Not that we really care. We're going to probably just sequence break the right side on you, regardless.
Looks like hearts on the stun drop today. That's always nice to see.
I'm kind of... I shouldn't say I'm kind of surprised he's getting it. It's 5 hearts. Lumio, you're fine with getting hearts, but... I'd expect him to save quit out of this. Yeah, I was going to say I expect him to save quit out of that, so I thought he might have enough hearts regardless.
LJL is nothing. I believe
Yeah.
we also got a bumper check, which was also nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, at this point right now, we're kind of like sitting at Hera, Spike Cave. Looks like we got 2 more crystals in the light world. So that means Meyer or Tiara is our last pendant.
Didn't unlock the
treesapthief.
camera. Are we getting a mimic clip?
It looks like it.
So this is a trick where the mimic will always go opposite of the way that Link goes. So what treesapthief is doing is taking advantage of the fact that the game state is only checked every other frame. So doing a series of 1-frame inputs to clip this mimic into the wall, and then at a certain point, well, we're giving up on it, but at a certain point, you clip the mimic into the wall enough that the game thinks it's not in the room anymore, and it'll open the door.
Yeah. It's basically because Link to the Past, you have enemies you can't actually kill, like the bubbles, for example. And the way that the game loads stuff into memory, it does it on a super tile basis. So those bubbles are sitting in the core in a room right next to the mimic room. So the game can't just like look at its memory banks and think, "Oh, I've killed all the enemies. I'll open the door." It has to check to see where the enemies are in the position of the screen, if they're on the screen or not. And so, if you can get the mimics off the screen, then the door will open itself. And,
So Rambler making the play into Hera.
Yeah. Desert Compass.
Which I don't think we've found too much here in Pod. That's just a cape, if I remember right. And a Molnorm at the top of the tower, so...
Alright,
we'll be able to kill that.
Oh, here we go. Fire rod. Alright, everybody. I want some numbers in chat from 1 to 8. How many eyes are we going to get on our Moldorm? Did treesapthief opt to... oh no, because they never did right side, so they don't have the requisite number of small keys.
Ooh, Mitts and Pod big chest. Alright. So, treesapthief's gonna probably that'll probably be enough to just put him back on the mountain and come get this fire rod.
Yeah.
Especially with that hook shot in hand.
Yeah, and the good thing is, and I believe our answer is 5? 6. At least, at the very least, though, like, with Mitts being there, Rambler is going to go into Pod sooner than later. He might hard last location those Mitts, but it's going to probably be locking a little bit too much of the game for him to really make much of a difference.
Alright, I believe that is our first crystal in hand.
Yep.
And, of course, gotta go back for the basement.
Moldorm dropped like a piece of heart or some money. It wasn't anything significant.
Yeah, good point in chat that treesapthief's gonna have one fewer mountain climb, because it brought the Mitts up here instead of coming up here for Pod.
It's not too bad what's happening now, because the real thing was getting to Hera. Like, the next thing that kind of has to get done is... where is Rambler going? Rambler's opting to run to Pod from the north. Okay. No. Is going to switch out his potion. Okay. I don't think we got a mushroom.
Now, just changing the red out for a blue, maybe.
All right.
That probably means he's looking at Cold Stare over there in Thieves Town.
That is absolutely right. You could do go clear up Thieves Town, and you can go check whoever's sitting in the back of Skullwoods while you're at it.
Yes, the blue potion recovers both hearts and magic.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like 3 other items that the fire rod gets you right now. And obviously, like, Rambler's kind of not wanting to do POW without a POW. Or even maybe a mirror so you can combo in and clear off Eastern with it. Which is understandable. It'll be interesting to see if treesapthief offset. We didn't remark it about it at the time, but Spy Cave was Ether Medallion, which we may need.
Yeah, so that blue potion's going to be clutch here, because only having a fighter sword can just break the shell here, refill your magic, and get 8 more fire rod shots. Each one does 16 damage. And that's a lot.
Yeah. I'm gonna opt to like hold off on it until he's a little more lower in health.
You take 1 more hit, and now we'll see it.
So it appears treesapthief opted to save quit out of the basement of Hera. And didn't go check Dark Death Mountain. That's interesting.
It is interesting. I wonder. I'll have to ask afterwards.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe he got the fire. I guess maybe just getting the fire rod. It's like I can go beat. Get another crystal on the board. Let's go get another crystal on the board. But you also just like passed up doing like 6 or 7 items. Now I'm pretty sure you could actually like do that spin speed actually out leaving Thieves Town. I'm pretty sure that the
You can. There are 2 pixels of manual stairs in the front of Thieves Town.
Yeah. Armos Knights. Yeah.
Alright, well, put that
so
into use.
This is actually going to be kind of interesting. This is actually probably the actual worst rating to fight Armos Knights in. He has Burna, which is actually going to be a benefit for him in this fight. Fighter Sword, pretty good, but Burna, you can group them up. The kind of the problem with Armos Knights and what we're going to see when we get to the Mothula Arena is they can actually clip outside of the room, and they have to kind of pop back in. So they're not always available to fight.
Yeah, you can whack them all into the spikes. Each one will do gold sword damage, 16 damage, but like Tophile said, it gets a little glitchy because that boss is not supposed to be in that room. So they do tend to get away from you.
Let's just appreciate the fact that the Gibdos are in the large prize pool pack today. So just fire at them all and get a full magic as a reward. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. No, no, don't do spins. Don't do spins.
So, for those who
Yes.
don't know, Armos Knights has a sort of a weird damage table. Usually, on most enemies, the fighter sword with a spin attack, or any sword with a spin attack, will do more damage than a slash, but Armos Knights, being the first boss in the vanilla game, is actually programmed to take more damage from the fighter sword than most other things would take. So spins actually do less damage to Armos than you would think.
Yeah. Yeah, so we still haven't seen the big key yet. So hopefully the big key has locked itself, so we just don't have to walk out after checking bridge chest. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, of course. Yeah.
Are we going back for Dark Death Mountain here?
Yeah. This is probably... As I said...
I'm going to attribute this to racing is hard, and it's very difficult to know where you stand at any given time. And
yeah. Also,
might have been a forgotten hook shot or forgotten mitts or something.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I think the skipping of the Armos skill is, I think this might just be a... This could just be like an experience thing. I'm not sure how long treesapthief has been running, but like... This isn't a common situation you're going to find yourself doing an Armos fight with. And... It's kind of unfortunate, but it's understandable. Because this is totally like a doable fight. It's just
So depending on the boss in Ice Palace, Pyramid Fairy could be an option here.
yeah. Now we theoretically have the ability to check Pyramid. Well, we still technically need flippers, I guess, but... Well, there are those flippers.
Those flippers technically required, but I think most runners know how to get into Ice Palace without them.
Yeah. There's our bow, of course. Of course.
Bow.
Now, our mitts were 6-key locked. So that actually might be logical silvers, potentially. We're going to have to keep an eye on the actual key distribution in pod. Because that could have been thrown into logic with just 5, kind of.
If that is the logical first bow, then it's only locked by 5 keys. So
yeah, we didn't get like a good. I wasn't paying too much attention to exactly how many keys were in the front, and after the mimic, we had the mimic clip issues.
Right, we never saw those right side chests.
Yeah, and that was nice. Yeah. So I believe, at long last, Rambler is going to be... Oh no, we still have Agina. We never checked Agina. Rambler has done everything in his power to avoid going to pot. Well, never mind.
Doing it this way gets a pyramid ledge check.
You already checked Pyramid Ledge. But yeah, at this point, Rambler basically knows the pod can't be locked.
The bow was in Hookshot Cave.
Yeah,
Locked
our bow.
behind the mitts in Pod Big Chest.
Yeah. Now, oh, and it looks like our Ether was our TR medallion today. So we are going to have to do... We have a 50-50 shot of having to do Spike Cave right now. At least a 50% shot.
And we will get to see Ice Palace here.
Yeah, I believe Rambler is under a rotting pizza right now. And well, we'll see some new checks on treesapthief's side. But El Biki and Ice Palace, of course. So, like, realistically, what exactly do we have left after Ice Palace now? Now that Hova's been checked? Mirrorless Smith Chain and Agina?
I don't think those are thoughts that either racer wants to entertain at the moment.
Oh, actually, I guess on Rambler's side he can get into TR2. So, there is that. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like Rambler isn't a Mimic Clipper and doesn't have a potion now to do a camera lock, so we're kind of going to have those last two checks over in right side remain a mystery for a little bit longer.
I believe it is only one key over there.
Yeah, so this is 5 key locked. Yeah, so both are.
Yes. So Hookshot Cave confirmed first logical bow.
No, those are both equally in logic. It just Mitz locked both of our bows. So let's see. What's Rambler gonna have to do here? I guess this is gonna be Smith Chain. At least. Hammer Pigs and Smith, grabbing the Smith. Flippers are up on Death Mountain, so
Treesapthief also has not done Skull Woods yet, so I'm wondering when
yeah.
that's gonna happen.
I think I kind of expect now that he's gotten both bows that he'll just go and try to kill Armos Knights with Silvers. I think that's kind of going to be in the covered level for just about anybody.
And what boss do we have? A second Moldorm.
Oh boy. Well, that's our first duplicate. Moldorm and Randomizer, when we do a boss shuffle or Randomizer, that's why Moldorm looks so weird.
Bonky on the boss, meaning that Red Cane was required to finish this dungeon, but we got that a while ago.
Where are you going? Did you... Oh, I don't think Rambler checked Bumper Cave. Alright. Yeah. Where are the swords at? We all know where the swords are at. Zeruvian. The swords are in Swamp. Or two of them were sitting on tablets, I don't know. Oh, good. Replacement bottle for the goo we used. Alright. So Rambler is probably going to make a play into Turtle Rock right now. He should probably go for the top entrance because he has a medallion, so he knows he can potentially open it. Yeah. And treesapthief is heading for the Armos Knights Skeleton Skull Woods. Yep, Silvers. Treesapthief manages to kind of knock out that Armos Knight's kill pretty quickly this time around. Still gonna probably check the bridges and then gonna have to kind of walk back out to go check big key chest, big chest. Rambler should have the Turtle Rock compass, so we'll be able to check exactly what boss it is. It's blind, so he's gonna full clear this. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so now we don't know right now if Maya or Turtle Rock is our last crystal. So this could be the last one that Rambler needs to know, and then he's kind of hunting like Desert Axis and a sword at this point, I think. And maybe an Ice Rod. Because we're actually almost in go mode.
Yeah, but in Big Boss, you're never truly in go mode till you find that ice rod, because there's always that sneaky Trinex somewhere.
Yeah. Looks like Treesapthief is gonna opt to go clear out some more of Mirrorless Smith Chain now. We only saw the bottom, we never saw Purple Chest. They also have, Treesapthief also has the option to go finish Eastern Palace, which was just Helmosaur. But we have both bows now to go get ourselves through it.
Yeah, helping to leave the frog in jail.
Yeah. So...
Go ahead.
Sorry. So the answer to Chad's question about our heart container refill rules. No, collecting a heart container does not automatically refill your health in Link to the Past. In like Ocarina of Time, picking up a heart piece or a heart container will automatically refill your health no matter what it is. In Link to the Past, the only time that you will refill all your health is if you complete a heart container by getting 4 heart pieces, or you find the Sanctuary Heart. This is because normally the 4th heart, the heart refill in Link to the Past is automatically done by picking up your dungeon reward. So they don't actually refill it when you pick up the container.
They're getting bullied by those lasers a little bit and to drink a potion.
Yeah. Mimic Cave can never hurt us in this seed. For all we know, Mirror's in Ganon's tower at this point. Well, there's our desert access.
And some liquid trail.
Yeah.
So I believe that means Treesapthief is only looking for a medallion, which we know is in Spike Cave.
Well, we don't quite know that yet, but we'll soon know. We don't know, again, we don't know if Turtle Rock is our last Crystaller pendant because we haven't found the map for either Meyer or TR. So theoretically, we could also still be looking for Flute. And Flute could be sitting in a Genus Cave because neither runner has checked it an hour into this race.
There's some explosives.
Yeah. Oh!
And there's our last crystal. It is Turtle Rock.
Yeah, so we may not be looking at getting Flute or Mirror this seed, so it'll be interesting to see how quickly Rambler... Oh, well, there's the Ice Rod. How quickly Rambler will be getting towards that book. I can't imagine he's going to be putting it off for very much longer, because right after this, he's probably going to go check Hookshot and Super Money Cave, get the flippers, and then immediately hop over to Ice. Yeah, right now the Spike Cave Orphan by Treesapthief is really kind of hurting him. Because right now, realistically, all he needs for go mode is Ether. And a sword. Well, there's the flute. That's not
Oh,
good.
boy.
That's even worse.
And Treesapthief does not... Well, he also doesn't have a medallion to open Mire, so...
Yeah, no, the problem is he... Well, yeah, he doesn't have a medallion. Yeah, that's true. But the other problem with that is if Mire is our... Both Mire and TR are Ether to open up, I think you'd probably make the play for Mire before TR. Because Mire can be a much faster dungeon to beat than TR. And unfortunately, the map that we know that proves where our dungeon rewards are all the way down on Laser Bridge at TR. And there's no guarantee we're going to see the Mire map because that could be in GT. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, the Biggest of Desert Palace had the flute in it.
Yep. Kind of fine, really kind of fine. We'll make that judgment soon. Rambler getting the news that this boss is also Moldorm. Rambler will be in go mode once he finds Buck. Well, he will be in go mode pending finding the ice rod and another sword. The good thing is for him that he will be at least doing Master Sword Silver Cannon when it comes down to the worst of it. And he's going to get both bows in here and just the second bow in here and be annoyed, I'm sure.
Well, there is a Trinex somewhere as we pick up the Master Sword from Desert Palace boss.
Yeah.
There is a Trinex somewhere, we do not know where it is. And there might even be two. I think we've only seen two doubles so far.
Yeah, we've only seen two doubles. It'd be kind of rare. It'll be a little rarer for Trinex because at this point because he can show up on the Moldorm 2 platforms, so that's one of our last boss platforms that we could see. Boss arenas we can see. I mean, we've seen a Helma, we've seen two blinds, we've seen two Moldorms, we've seen an Armos, we've seen a Cold Stare. We haven't seen Lamnus, we haven't seen Vitreous. No Trinex. Or Mothula. Mothula is probably just sitting, going to be chilling up on Lamnula too. Knowing how the game likes to just stick him up there. Yeah. Things you don't want to see if you're treesapthief. The mirror. It's Quake. Add Quake to that list as well. Unfortunately, just a boomerang. So treesapthief right now really only has Eastern and pod left in purple chest. Or Spike Cave, so they're probably gonna go do, yeah, they're gonna go do Eastern now.
Yeah, it's an understandable play. It's an easy crystal in hand, and just kind of hope that what you need is in your path.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately for them, like, they kind of, like, have to immediately go to Spike Cave right after this, because Rambler doesn't really have a lot left other than doing Pyramid Fairy right now. And he does Pyramid Fairy and he's in go mode. So that is Rambler's, I believe, 5th crystal? Yeah. Still Homosaur. Rambler, I guess, oh, he's checking Hobo. He's not checking Hobo, he's doing Eastern Palace. Okay. Yeah, and this kind of makes sense, because I think Rambler will probably do Pyramid Fairy next, and then he can run over to Pod if it's nothing. Not having the mirror, not having a flute. You're kind of limited in your best ways to get over to Pod.
Yeah, I always find routing without a mirror to be somewhat awkward. So you're used to just having it.
Also, things you don't want to see if you're a Rambler here, the mirror.
I don't think either runner wants to see a mirror right now. I'm just gonna have to hope it's chilling in GT.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. That's the flute to 1. Treesapthief has not checked the front of escape. So we'll be checking the other 3 items down in Zelda's cell. The only thing notable down there is a cane of bird, unfortunately. And that's Rambler's 6th crystal now. Yeah, so really, this has been a pretty quick seed. Everybody's about a 111 for both runners getting 6 crystals. The only problem right now is, like, Rambler's probably got an easier path to go about.
The Ether Medallion and Spike Cave.
Yeah. Yeah, it was something that, unfortunately, like, treesapthief had a couple times, had a couple chances to grab and just didn't do Spike Cave. Rambler was trying to do everything he could to find a bow before going to Pod, and dug it out of there. Last location to Smith's in the process, but it's probably going to be what has caught him back up to win this race in the end. Yeah, no. So see, the problem with either doing Ether Tablet is if you want to do Ether Tablet, you want to do Ether Tablet with the mirror, because otherwise you have to kind of run yourself around Death Mountain to get there, and then you also have the problem that Ether is in the Dark World. So in order to open up TR, you have to swap worlds and climb the mountain again. It's just in a really, really awkward place for treesapthief right now. It's kind of sitting just like on its lonesome until the mirror shows up, and if the mirror shows up, then you got Swamp House and you got other stuff to check. Yeah, that's essentially Rambler Sky mode.
Yeah, so that's GT mode for Rambler.
Yeah.
And then he's going to breathe a huge sigh of relief once he sees that ice route on Desert Ledge.
And when a second sword drops off the Landless fight.
Yeah, so yes, Rambler does need another sword, but with 27 checks in GT, or just
no, he does. No, he doesn't need a. So Rambler needs a second sword, but that second sword is in a guaranteed fight that he has to do. So he'll have the second sword before he even gets into GT.
Right. And even him not having that knowledge, like, still not gonna check too many extra chests, I don't think, because at this point you're just kind of hoping your sword is in GT.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't suspect. So, I like in my head, like I think you get the big key and you head for Lamnelas, and then you see if you get a sword there. But I could also see him like trying to just clear out the front of Desert while he's here as well. Unfortunately, just the key. Yeah, so the only thing that we were missing in Pod was just a red rupee. This is kind of an awkward Pod key layout, Desert Palace key layout. Yeah, okay, so he's opting to full clear Desert. This is fine. I'll probably get the, I wonder exactly what its reaction to be will be for getting the food out of the Desert Palace big chest. Probably just why is that there? Also, we're about an hour and 15 in, so please, I just wanted to make sure to give our shout-outs to our, apparently I'm not logged into CSR chat on this computer, but I was going to say please give our shout-out to our runners. Shout-out and please give a follow to our runners, treesapthief and NYRambler, and to my co-comp, Secretly a Silver, and our tracker tonight, Pixcalibur, and thank you to our wonderful restream of baseball. You don't have to actually give me a follow, I don't stream. And unfortunately, the only thing of note in Pod was Half Magic, which hint, 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 hint. Go check Spy Cave. No. gonna go check Green Pendant instead.
Yeah, this is understandable for me. Like, you've already put in the time and investment to go and get that green pendant. You might as well just go turn it in.
Yeah. And Rambler's like, hell yeah. This seed turned from really frustrating to really nice for him.
Well, we have just picked up our 7th crystal and are headed to the final dungeon in A Link to the Past, known as Ganon's Tower. Maybe.
I'm interested to see where Rambler's going.
Yeah.
He's going to go get some more potions. Fair.
Master Sword, with the possibility of a nice X, this is definitely understandable.
Yeah, we haven't seen 2 dungeons yet. Obviously, like in Rambler's side, he didn't see the Argus and Pod,
Right.
but we have a very good chance of finding an Argus soon, and if it's an Ice Armos, an Ice Trinex, you want to like just be armed to the gills for that.
Now we will head to Ganon's Tower. So, there are 22 locations that the Ganon's Tower Big Key can be in, so get your guesses in chat. Number between 1 and 22, where do we think that key is hiding?
I see somebody in chat's already guessed my usual answer for this contest, which is number 9. It's a very strong number. Perfect for this contest.
I'm gonna go with 10.
Alright. Rambler option go hope and right, it looks like. No. No, no mirror.
Looks
Gotta
like
walk.
Hope left, but forgot that he did not have the mirror.
No,
and unfortunately, it's not going to tell you what the bosses are.
Yeah. Oh, well, we can't get it to Meyer anyway. You know, Bomb Nose right now isn't actually too bad because we could still run into a Cold Stare. Dupe, so just to get a little extra magic save isn't too bad at this point. There's our Tempered Sword.
Always nice to see a Tempered Sword.
Yeah, I got Ether, Rambler.
I'm with you, Rambler. Ether's low.
Yeah. This is purple chest now for treesapthief, which unfortunately won't be the answer. So they're going to hard last location. I think after this, their last location is going to be Spike Cave.
And that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
One thing that you leave behind is what has your progression, and it's the name of the game.
It's not always what you last location first. It's what you last location. And a lot of seats, unfortunately.
Savage boosting treesapthief off of that ladder pretty fast as we find the big key on check number 11 and a mirror.
Yeah.
So, don't have to take death down there, which is always a nice thing.
Yeah. Yeah, the mirror shield just kind of bounces fireball shots right off the mimics. Get up right in their face and just shoot them with a silver. Yeah, that feels bad. And about 125, treesapthief is in go mode. So really, it's only been about a 12-minute difference in go mode, but they're still a full TR clear behind. And GT key find. And honestly, you want to know what I would like to just give a call back to that we were discussing at the beginning of that threat, the seed. That Turtle Rock compass that was in Spectacle Rock that Rambler opted to get and treesapthief didn't. Not that it really hurt treesapthief in any way, but I think it really gave Rainbow the confidence just to go full clear Turtle Rock when he was up on the mountain.
Yeah, just tiny things like that, and swing a race one way or the other.
Yeah, that was a vanilla Lamlola too. We missed, unfortunately. Ah, there's a map.
There's the Meyer map that treesapthief needs to see his pending crystal information.
He's gonna go to TR
because he spent this entire time just in the dark when not knowing which dungeon he needed to do.
Yeah, he's gonna get up, look at it, and then sigh. But yeah, unfortunately, he is a good 10-ish minutes behind. Yeah, gets the confirmation that his last crystal was TR and Meyer. There was a key on Laser Bridge in the third and the second to last chest, so might actually open up the last one to get that Turtle Rock big chest, that Turtle Rock map. And of course, here, I'm not psychic. It's just that Mothula likes to be here. Fortunately, doesn't have the compass because that was over in Spectacle Rock.
NYRambler not validating his run, the validation chest. Unfortunate.
Well, this is a pretty nice first couple cycles for Ago 2.
Yeah, I think that last hit only counted as one, though, because the game is mean.
Yeah, just a little off. There we go. potentially 3 cyclable, got it in 4. Unfortunately, you can't randomize either of the Agos or Ganon in this mode.
Yeah, with Ganon having a phase that's that requires to light torches and no other boss rooms having torches, that's unfortunately impossible.
Hello. That's when we put him on for Triforce Hunt. That's where we put him in Triforce Hunt. No, we have Mario RPG music for the final boss music.
And Rambler, taking advantage of one of those obscure glitches, you activate the magic cape and you grab a hold of the wall. It does not take any magic.
Yeah. Into phase 3 already. Ooh, got a really nice torch glitch there. Don't always want the torch glitch when you're doing silvers, but it worked out.
Alright, let's get your GGs in chat for NYRambler, who is going to cross finish line first. And get it under 130. Just over the 131.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's an official race time.gg time of 1:31. Very good race by both of these runners. I think we're going to try to get both of them in for an interview. Right. Looks like Rambler's in the waiting room. And we're being joined by NYRambler and treesapthief. GG's.
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 So sometimes Rambler, I think I said it on Restream, it's not what you last location first, it's what you last location last.
Maybe
that either kind of really turned the race in your favor.
Yeah, I mean, I was just talking with Treesap in the race room saying that he last located it, like hard last located, and I was like, well, I was going to do Harrow, I was like, you know what, let me do that first because I'm assuming the game gave me Cane Burner for a reason. So
yeah, I
decided to pop in there and say, oh, okay, Ether, that might be useful. And then when I went there a second time, I was going to go up just to do Hookshot Cave, and I was like, wait a minute, if TR's Ether, I have Samaria, I have the Compass. If it's not Trinex, I can beat it.
Yeah.
And then, I ended up almost last locating Book. I think I left like the rest of Pod and like 2 other checks in the overworld, but
I think you just had Pod, Agina, and Purple
Pod,
Chest.
Agina, and Purple Chest, because I did everything in Swift Team except Purple Chest.
Yeah.
I routed really weird.
Well, you were obviously routing to not do Pod without a bow, which I think a lot of people would find understandable, especially with Pendant Pod. Of course, it turns out that the 5 key locked mitts.
Yeah, I was like, is this bow locked? I was talking to myself, is this bow locked? I don't think it's bow locked because I opened all the other chests along the way. I think there's only one small key on right side, so I think this is not bow locked. And then when I found both bows behind mitts, they confirmed it was not bow locked.
Yeah, but honestly, really, really, really fun race to watch.
I thought it was good. It was just like very straightforward for the most part. Like yes, I did some things a little wonky, like doing the way I routed. Right, ended up costing me. After I got Hammer, I decided to do Thieves Town before Hera. Where if I did Hera first, I could have just done Thieves into Skull without having to worry about it. Since Fire Rod was in Hera and you need a Fire Rod for both those dungeons.
I mean, I think a lot of people in your case would have opted to just do Vo and do Skullwoods together rather than, having to go back, climb Death Mountain again just to go up and do Hera without a mirror.
Yeah, unless you somehow dipped Eastern before doing Death Mountain. I don't know why you would do that. But if you did, then you would have worked out perfect, because then you would have gotten Moon Pearl, then you would have been able to go to Hera, get the Fire Rod, and then do, Thieves Town and Skullwoods.
Yeah, you were
went straight to Eastern at the start, but that was my undoing, because I skipped Hyrule Castle, and that missed out on the cane, which then missed out on my opportunity to get Spike Cave's Ether, and I put that off till basically the very end, thinking it's one check. I was trying to do everything else, and unfortunately it was the only one I had left.
Yeah, Blue Cane being in front of Hyrule definitely was what sent me to try Spike Cave out.
Yeah,
early.
I would have if I had it, but
yeah,
I don't have any.
I mean, yeah, with only 6 hearts, it's really tough to make that call without Cane or Cape.
Yeah, I used up my potion, so I was running thin.
Just one potion might not be enough. It's very close when you're on. Depending on how many hearts you had. When I went, I only had 6 hearts.
I think early on, yeah, I had very few hearts. So again, I think that was another reason why I decided not to go that way.
Anyway, we get to do this again next week, same time. Hopefully it's something different, because this is the second in a row that I've been restreamed, and both were MC Boss, both with no Trine X's also.
Well, I think
was really thinking there was going to be when I saw Ice Rod on Desert Ledge.
Well, when I got the book, I was like, all right, good. Now all I need is a sword and maybe Ice Rod. And then I saw the Ice Rod, and then I got a sword. And I was like, well, perfect.
And then you also pulled the flute as well, and you were like...
I pulled the flute, pulled the mirror. I pulled all the things I never found.
Yeah.
Another sword. Both medallions.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw Treesap on the restream or not, but the mirror was basically next to the GT Big Key for that
random room.
One small mercy.
Well, I opened it, I was like, all right, just give me the mirror so I don't have to Death Warp or take a really long convoluted path back to the lobby. And then sure enough, hey, look, the mirror, the seed's nice.
Well, that was my thought when I was thinking of going into GT. Unfortunately, I didn't make it there, but I thought, oh man, if I don't have the mirror by then, one is good, because then I don't ever have to go into Swamp. If I got the mirror early, then that would have made me go on a Wild Goose Chase that way.
Yeah. Thankfully, Quake was also sitting on the GT Torch as well, so you were never getting into Mire either.
Yeah, I was worried which medallion I was going to get and which one I was going to take. And I don't know if you got the Ether Tablet, but that told you Mire was the pendant before I even went into Turtle Rock. And it made me laugh, because I'm like, okay, I guess I am in gold mode.
I didn't know what the last crystal was between Mire or TR until I pulled the map from Laser Bridge on TR.
So you had TR's... Okay.
Yeah, the TR compass was the one that was sitting in Spectacle Rock, so...
Yeah, it's weird going in, seeing the compass, like, oh, it's Kisani, I'm not doing it. Oh, wait, in this mode, I do want the compass, and it turned out working out, because I probably, I might have still done, if I didn't have the compass, I might have still done TR at that point, because the odds of it being a Trinex was pretty low. I mean, the Trinex odds are a little different than other bosses, because Trinex can't be on so many rooms.
Yeah, there's yeah, and I was gonna say, I brought it up because I think you got it, you looked at it, you saw it was blind, and you probably are like, okay, at the very worst, this is a pendant, but I might be getting my desert access in here, and I can just...
I mean, it made sense. I went up there. It's better to do it then when I can complete it with a 50-50 shot of it being a crystal.
Yeah.
Especially when there's a realistic chance of Flute being in GT.
Yeah. Which it wasn't, but it was locked behind the book. So
the book, the book was hard required, which I was happy about. That I made that play before I did like Purple Chest.
Yeah.
All right. It's past my bedtime. I'm going to head on out. GG's, Treesap, and I'll see you next week.
GG's.
I was going to ask, do you have any questions, Sliver?
No, you were on top of all of them today, so I'll just take this opportunity to thank our restreamer Baseball, thank our tracker Pixcaliber, and thank you for calming this race with me.
No problem. It was a fun time, and thanks to everybody behind the scenes as well.
All right. It sounds like it's about time for me to start wrapping things up here. So thank you so much to our volunteers today. This was a really fun race. Glad we got to put it on. And of course, thank you to our runners, treesapthief and NYRambler. This is only game 1 of the series. 2 more games coming up, so it should be a fun one. There's always, I think, Link to the Past Challenge Cup races going on. None are currently on our schedule to be restreamed, but keep an eye out on the schedule because we're adding stuff to it all the time as people pick up races. So yeah. Now I'm looking for a raid target. So let me see. Is this person done streaming? I'm just gonna go here. We're gonna go to Morpheus80, who is doing some Majora's Mask speedruns. Thank you all so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.